The Media Project.
Excuse me, do you mind if I join you? Are you sure you don't mind? You're absolutely sure I'm disturbing you?
Could we have the name, please?
Bond. James Bond.
James Bond.
Yes, James Bond.
Yes, James Bond.
So hello and welcome to the Mental Suppository. I'm Brett Herholtz.
I'm Andrew Shanley.
I'm Wayne Nevis.
I'm Jamie Billings.
And we'll begin this episode right after a word from our sponsor.
This week on Jake and the Fart Man.
I'm stumped, Fart Man. I need answers. Who killed the senator's wife?
I don't know the answer to that, but maybe you can answer this. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Oh,
God, Fart Man! Oh!
Yep, that's what 3 steaks, 12 green burritos, and a bucket of ribs will do to you.
Oh, God, I need air!
I got plenty of that.
Oh, you ass!
Funny you mention that.
What's going on in here?
Oh, God, Fart Man!
Wait, hold on, guys. I might have the answer to the case.
Oh, you son of a... jerk!
Stop it. We need to catch the murderer.
I got something for you to catch.
Oh, God!
Catch that and paint it green.
Forget about the murder. His gas is going to murder us.
What's going on? Why are you two... Oh, God, Fart Man!
It hurts to breathe.
Hey, here's an impression of another show I was on.
Don't you dare, you flatulent son of a...
Cannon! Get it?
Oh, God!
It's like someone left a bowl of egg salad in the sun for days and then took a shit in it.
Why do we even work with this guy?
I don't know.
Don't miss Jake and the Fart Man with special guest Robert Urich.
You'll never get a confession out of me.
Oh, okay, I'll confess.
Oh, that's why we work with him.
Right after an episode of Fart Lock with special guests Don Knott and Jim Neighbors.
What case are you working on today, Fartlock? A serious case of indigestion.
Golly, I hope you brought a clean pair of underpants, Fartlock.
You're making my cataracts burn!
All this and more coming to you from the new streaming service FRT. Because the world does not have enough streaming services already, FRT Plus delivers high-definition sound of only the best gutbusters in the business. You will get to hear such favorite celebrities as Marlon Brando, Orson Welles, Melissa McCarthy, James Corden, and Emily Blunt. Because let's face it, the world is heading in the direction of the movie Idiocracy. We might as well cater to the lowest common denominator.
And we're going to be doing a little bit of bonding today.
Yes, James Bond.
That's what we're talking. Okay, that bonding. Okay,
Well, I think,
bond.
not that
No,
kind
that's
of...
James
Zip it
James
back up.
bondage.
Okay,
Zip it
okay, darn
back
it.
up.
That's for
Wrong
the after-hours
bond.
show, right?
Not bondage.
Oh, okay.
James Bond,
Yeah.
not James
Okay,
Bondage.
I thought
not
this
that
was like,
movie.
after dark. I didn't know.
No.
Well, with the release of the latest Bond film, No Time to Die, I thought, which I haven't had a chance to see yet, but
Neither have I.
yeah.
Neither have I.
But it seems like this one's kind of the game changer in the series. But I thought it also would give us a chance to talk about, some of the other Bond films, some of that might have been our favorites, or other ones that we just might want to talk about that might not have been our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the first thing that we have to get out of the way is, and I did it already, we all have to do our impression of James Bond. So, Brett.
Yes. Yes, Miss Moneypenny. I can show you where you can dictate that.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die!
You expect me to talk? I'm not gonna.
And then he slaps her. I don't know.
Because that's Sean Connery.
Because that is a Sean Connery character.
Yep.
Oh, Trebek. I have a joke for you. I don't remember it, but it ends with your mother's a whore.
That was actually a really good one.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I mean, we all have everyone has an impression whenever they say James Bond. The first thing someone has to do is do it like,
Well, nobody does Roger Moore, it seems like.
oh yes,
Yes.
Bond, James.
And the funny
Bond.
thing is, he was
don't know.
Bond. He was Bond the longest, actually.
You gonna sneeze?
You okay?
Gonna sneeze?
Okay.
Oh man, all
Never-
that build up for
Oh,
nothing.
Damn.
Next
All right,
time
so-
you have to sneeze, look up at a
It
light
wasn't a
and
sneeze.
sniff. What was it?
It was a cough.
Oh, okay.
I was
Then-
trying hard to hold it in.
Ah,
But the next time, I'll let you know.
okay. But yeah, like we all have a James Bond impression.
Yeah. We all have a favorite James Bond movie.
And yeah,
We all have
Yep.
a favorite James Bond quote.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about James Bond. Obviously, he was a character written by Ian Fleming.
Yep.
Ian Fleming was a secret agent, basically, with the OSS back during World War II. He was killing Nazis, as they are
Nazis.
Nazis.
oh, those guys.
That'd be bad for our mothers. Their names are Nancy.
Not
Nancy,
Nancy's. Martha? No. No. So he started after the war. He obviously started writing,
Yep.
and one of the characters he wrote was James Bond.
Who actually physically, apparently, Fleming based his looks on Hoagie Carmichael, which I think a lot of people wouldn't know who that was nowadays. But if you saw pictures of him,
Oh, that's so sad. I'm probably the only one in this room who knows exactly who Hoagie.
No, I know who he is. So
Oh, all right. I don't feel
because
so bad
you've done the
anymore.
research. But
No, I
Wayne,
knew
Wayne
what-
remembers because he was there.
Shut up. No, I actually love several of Hoagie Carmichael's movies. He was a damn good actor,
and
as well as an amazing pianist.
But the person actually Ian Fleming actually wanted to play James Bond was David Niven.
Yes, who actually did get to play James Bond in one of the movies.
Casino Royale.
Yep,
Thank
the
you.
67 Casino Royale.
That was the movie.
Which is kind of sad in a way because Ian Fleming didn't live long enough to see it, but it might have been also kind of good since
It was strictly a comedy.
It was a comedy,
It was not
but-
meant to follow the original James Bond theorem, but it did allow for David Niven to play the role. But yeah, it's like, okay, we're gonna kind of give this to. It's okay. It's the same idea as when they gave John Wayne the Academy Award for Rooster Cogburn.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, he made The Searchers in 1955, probably one of the best westerns to show post-Civil War racism from an actor of John Wayne's legend being the racist, and he doesn't get an Oscar for that, but yet he gets an Oscar for that. Okay, somewhat PG-13, end of his career, still a good movie, but not The Searchers quality.
It was the pity Oscar.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to remember.
there you
It's
go.
the
It
pity
was the
Oscar.
pity
That was a
Oscar.
long road to get to.
But,
I mean, that's what
I'm old.
the
What do you
Hollywood
want from me?
does.
But at first, I guess Ian Fleming wasn't entirely convinced about Sean Connery as Bond. But after he saw him perform, he was so impressed by it when he wrote I think he wrote the novel for You Only Live Twice. He actually wrote Bond's lineage as being Scottish.
How many books did Ian Fleming come up with?
He did a bunch, but the other thing too is he had a long road to actually producing.
How so?
James Bond, basically because he tried shopping the character around for a long time.
Before it was the movies, they actually had
there was like a dinner showcase theater television program where they took the story of Casino Royale.
Right, that's the one. That's the David Niven one.
No. This
No,
was
no.
actually one
No,
before
this is a
that.
completely
This
different one.
was
Oh.
It's not. It wouldn't be on your list because it's not technically in what they call James Bond canon.
No, it's one of these things. They actually it was played by an American, and they actually
Casino
called
Royale,
him Jimmy.
1954 television production.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
got it right here as the femme
Okay.
fatale stuff.
Okay,
But I don't have
impressive.
it. For the,
Very impressive. You have that.
But they ended up. It was played by an American actor, and they called him Jimmy Bond in it.
Yeah.
that's right, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Shut up, Joe Don Baker.
That's what he looked like. He was just like this really kind
That
of.
is
He almost looks like Kennedy.
Barry.
Eric,
Oh, come on.
Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond.
Hey, this
Eric
is
Newman?
my name's Jimmy Bond.
I give
Newman.
up. What's his name?
I'll take Marilyn Monroe, shaken, not stirred.
But yeah, so that's how it all started. And so for a long time, he was trying to shop it around to different studios to get it actually produced. He made a few Bond novels, but what happened is that they all got broken up into different Bond films.
Okay.
So you'd have it was really a lot of short
there was
stories.
no order.
There was
any
no.
of it.
He didn't make before. I think License to Kill was the first James Bond film not to have anything sourced from the original novels. And so before that, from Dr. No all the way to License to View to a Kill.
View to a Kill. No,
it was
Not Living Daylights.
Living Daylights.
It was? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was.
That was the last. That was the last.
I suppose you can only
Fleming
have so much
material that they could.
Although A View to a
siphon
Kill,
from.
that was the crazy, insane one, wasn't it? With
Well,
Roger Moore.
that was actually based
Roger
on-
Moore and
last one of
Christopher
John.
Walken.
Yeah, with
That was
Christopher
actually
Walken. Yes,
Walken.
that was
actually
that
based
one
on-
was insane.
That was
Right.
actually based on a short story. That was only based on a short story, which was actually called For Your Eyes Only.
And it was So
that movie was just I think I watched it once or twice and was just like, what the hell's going? I couldn't follow what was happening.
Yeah.
It
There was
so
a-
crazy.
But no. Here, that is a prime example of what I'm trying to get to for much later in the story. You get to a point in the Bond movies where, hey, these are really great. Then you get to a point where you're watching like, wait, how did we get here? I don't understand the premise of where all of a sudden we're shooting lasers in space to now we're watching a polo game to somebody's injecting somebody into something's butt. Where did we get? How did we get here?
You might want to rephrase that.
What were
crazy
you
Bond
injecting in
villains.
someone's butt?
well, not
No. If you watch
Oh,
the movie,
steroids, yes.
Yeah.
there's a scene with steroids with the guy. Oh, what's the name of that movie? That's not Never Say Never Again, is it?
No.
Are you talking about
no,
For Your
it's
Eyes Only with the ski jumper?
No, there was
No,
it was
that's a
View
good-
to a Kill.
That was A View to a Kill. With
Oh, that
the
was A View to
skiing.
Kill.
Yes.
Because Mayday was one of those characters that
Yeah.
was incredibly strong. Who was
Right.
Yeah, it was sort of like they were trying to do it like a super soldier serum kind of thing.
Well, there is an actual scene where they do a more in depth with the injections. Is Never Say Never Again, where it's a remake of Thunderball.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in that scene where the guy is getting his eyeball accustomed to looking in the reader,
Yeah.
you
Get out of here,
see
Tom Jones.
what's her name? It's not Tia Carrera. It's
No, it was not Tia Carrera.
no,
It
but
was
what
Kim
her-
Basinger.
No, it was not Kim Basinger. The
wasn't?
the femme fatale. Bring it up.
Oh shoot!
Bring it up. He's
go, get the
like,
list.
bring it up like it's a computer. It's a piece of paper. Read it. Oh, he's got put on his readers too.
Well, you had Valerie Leone
Never
and
Say
a
Never Again.
actress I can't really pronounce.
Never say never.
Well, hold on. Where is Never Say Never Again?
Not on the list.
Not, dude.
Oh.
Dude.
It's not on the list.
Oh,
Who?
Barbara Carrera?
Not on the list.
Barbara Carrera.
Never say never again is right on the second page,
Oh,
dumbasses.
Second page. Oh,
I was on the second page.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, yes, Barbara Carrera, Never Say Never Again. There's a scene where she is injecting the person who's getting his eye accustomed
Yep.
with this needle of whatever chemicals it is. We can say it's steroids, we cannot say it's steroids, but they do show, whereas in the original, all they show him is one scene where he's all wrapped up. They don't show anything else.
Now the other thing too about Never Say Never Again is it's really essentially a remake of Thunderball.
Right, it's not part...
It's,
It's
not
not-
unusual to have a thunderball in your pants.
It's not considered part of the broccoli canon.
No, it's not.
But
That was
it
part
is
of a whole-
still there was a bit of an
hate
argument,
broccoli.
but
Yeah.
eventually they brought it in because the fact that it was still well made.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that was also the dispute between the broccoli canon Ian people and Kevin McClory. Kevin McClory was the person who wrote Thunderball, and he was actually working with Ian Fleming at the time when they were making those
That's right,
movies.
yeah.
And so basically, there was these big, huge legal battles between the Eon Productions and Broccoli against Kevin McClory because he wanted to make his own set of Bond films, but there were legal challenges from Eon to keep them from making those movies. And so it kept on going up until Daniel Craig was going to come out with Casino Royale.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it went on for
Well,
years.
yeah,
long
but you
time,
also,
okay.
it is a long time, but you also have to understand that British law is what made it take
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to bitch about United States red tape. British law red tape, dude. it's insane. It's paint.
Generational.
It's red paint is what it is.
Yeah, it's generational over there.
Not to mention the fact that the Broccoli's are a family legacy. I
Yeah.
believe the granddaughter is now doing the production.
Yes, she is.
That makes sense, yeah.
Right. So it's a family thing. You don't take a family that's giving you so much of this and then you want to look into taking it away from them. Yeah. They should not be, this is my sadness in this, is they should not be so stringent.
Yeah.
They should not be like, look, we own James Bond. No, you want to make a Bond movie? Great. Maybe you can run it by us first so we can take a look at it if it kind of is like, well, good, bad, or what we can do with it. But don't just hob it all up.
I think part of the problem is that James Bond is one of the very first film franchises that says run as long as it has.
Yes.
And has had a strict control by this one group of people. It's similar to Disney, and it really kind of set the benchmark for like a lot of other film franchises, especially like if you take a look at how Star Wars is being treated, you take a look at how Star Trek is being treated. Eon is doing is the pioneer of doing
started
that.
it all. Right.
They really started it all. And I mean, since 1963 when Dr. No came
I thought it came out in 62.
62, 63.
Dr. No came out in 1962.
Oh, it did. Okay.
I know stuff.
It's off by a year. Anyway,
I also have the print in front of me.
He's got a paper.
Nerd.
Nerd!
There are two types of people in the world, nerds and jocks. And as a jock, it's my job to make fun of nerds.
But yeah, so basically, when Dr. No came out and it became this big, huge hit, and to be honest, there were a lot of studios that were like, this isn't going to be a big thing. Come on.
A lot of people did not believe this was going to be the mega hit.
Well, it kind of didn't really like explode when it came out. I mean, it did good, but it didn't. The first ones didn't really explode out onto the scene.
Another interesting thing I didn't know till I did some research was in the first three Bond films, Sean Connery isn't the person who appears as Bond when in the sight of the gun.
It is not.
Yeah.
It's
No.
not.
It
And so
was a stand-in.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you mean the beginning intro scene with the
right. It's almost like
the
a
barrel,
tradition
the view
that
from the
the
barrel of the
actor who
gun.
does
Right.
Bond appears in the barrel. But yes, you're right. The first three Bond movies, in fact, the first three Bond movies, the guy wears a hat.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
It's got a bowler on.
Yeah. Now you were talking about
It's like a trilby or something.
I think it's a trilby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you were talking about the British laws and everything. Is that part of the reason why Sean Connery left for a couple
Yes.
of them and then came back and then left
I think because
again?
he was stuck
No.
doing the film. He was stuck doing that film series.
Yes,
He
yes,
couldn't-
that was the reason. The problem with British law, what affected Patrick McGee, what affected Roger Moore for The Saint,
Yep.
was basically once you decide to start making a show, you are contracted to make that show. If the show takes 3 months to make, you have 9 months to sit in your home and wait until we start up again. Well, I would like to actually go do something else. No, you are contracted for this show. We can't afford to have you go off and do something, get yourself hurt, and then what are we going to do? Find somebody else at that point?
Pierce Brosnan was doing Remington Steele, which was an American show, and he couldn't. That was the reason he couldn't do Bond originally.
Right, because a lot of American television is somewhat based on British law in that instance. Is that once you are snagged on a show, you are stuck. Interesting point. Steve McQueen, while making the show Wanted Dead or Alive, had to lie to the studio in order for him to be able to run off to do the Magnificent Seven with Yul Brynner, which took 2 months. He was able to basically, these were guys, professional guys who got the shit done fast.
I'm
because
magnificent.
everyone
Don't
knew,
smoke.
Hey,
I'm
guys,
magnificent
you
now.
and you got to go back to your TV shows, and you got your stage thing. We need to do this now. We need to do it fast. Professionalism.
Yeah.
They knew what they needed. You don't get that shit today, but
No.
but the stringentness of it is just really was brutal. There was just so much we could have gotten more out of. It's not Roger
Sean
Moore,
Connery.
Sean Connery. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And maybe he would have stayed longer, but it literally drove the man nuts because of the laws that they were stuck with.
Well, that makes
Well,
sense.
also his fear of being typecast. in
Yes.
that
role.
too. Oh, that
That
too.
was a huge, huge reason why. Because I remember like seeing documentaries where he was sitting down. He was actually when they released "You Only Live Twice," which is the fourth, I believe.
That was supposed to be his final one.
That
That
too.
was supposed to be his final one. He was like ready to just get out of it, and
they only did do Diamonds Are Forever. It was like the money.
Yeah.
He only and you can tell that sense of like, wow, you're really putting some serious work in this, and you're phoning it in.
Right.
I'll tell you the truth. He came back and he kind of it reinvigorated his career a little bit, like Diamonds Are Forever, because before that, after he left, was You Only Live Twice,
Yeah.
Right.
and then basically when he left, he did a bunch of independent films that really didn't do as well.
Because he was stuck with
He was
everyone
stuck.
seeing him as James
Yes,
Bond.
exactly.
Had they
The fear of
allowed
being typecast.
right,
Yeah.
had they allowed him to say, "Listen, yes, this is my main bread and butter. I
Mm-hmm.
do James Bond, but while I got my breaks, let me go do a play.
Exactly.
Let me go do an independent film. Let me get my face out there and my name out there, doing
Imagine
other
Sean
things."
Connery doing Taming of the Shrew, or
I'm gonna tame that shrew.
You know,
Yes.
before Bond,
Watch me tame that shrew.
To be or not to be, fuck you.
the biggest movie that Sean Connery was in before James Bond was Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Which
Boy,
is
these people.
Darby O'Gill.
Boy, these
Darby
people.
O'Gill and the
Little.
Little
That's a
People.
comedy.
Oh, I just stepped
Hey,
on one
it's
of
a
them.
Disney.
Actually,
hey,
there's
can
a
you say that these
movie-
days?
I guess.
Sorry.
Well, it's the title.
There was a 50s,
It was about leprechauns.
50s movie, Marnie. Wasn't he in Marnie before he did Bond?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was with that was Hitchcock.
Right, but the point is, he
I could say
actually,
Hitchcock and I laugh about it.
but he had done something of
Yeah.
somewhat prominent. I mean, come on, you're working with Alfred Hitchcock. You're doing something
yeah.
of some prominence at this point.
Actually, one of the people I heard was also considered for the role of James Bond was Cary Grant.
Yes, but
Really?
1964 is when Marnie came out.
okay, 2 years later.
So
All right.
he had just
So what?
so he'd already done James Bond, and I guess
3 times, yeah.
So he had done Dr. No. I believe he had just finished
From Russia with
From
Love.
Russia
Russia.
with Love.
With love.
And
and
then the
then
next one would have been
The next one was going to be
Goldfinger.
Thunderball. That would be
Goldfinger,
65.
Thunderball.
no, Goldfinger, then Thunderball.
Goldfinger.
There is a break.
Shut up, Tom Jones.
There is a break between the two because they didn't, similar to Sean Connery not wanting to get typecast in this character, they didn't want Spectre to be typecast as the typical villain,
Right.
similar to
Spectre,
Chaos
yes.
with Get Smart.
Yeah.
I kind of think Chaos came out after James Bond. That
No,
was
no,
like
no, it did. But if you think about it, when you think Get Smart, the only other organization you
That's
think
true,
of is
yeah.
Chaos. They
Yeah.
didn't want Bond and Spectre to be the two main forces, and that's
That makes
it.
sense.
Now
though,
you
yeah.
also you wouldn't have without James Bond. I don't think you wouldn't have Lancelot Link, Secret Chimp, Mata Harry.
What a
Yeah,
bunch
it
of
was like a
douchebags.
1970s TV show.
You don't remember Lancelot Link, Secret Chimp?
No, I do not.
It's great. I will have
It
to
was
show
a
you.
it was
will
a
have
whole
to show it to me.
It was a whole era of they took monkeys and put them in human clothes and they overdubbed their voices with
Yeah,
human.
so you see, I'm gonna, and it was
They
like
all
that
sound like
voice.
Humphrey
too.
Bogart.
Bad
And
guys
they-
are supposed to be Chump.
Yes, that's right. Chump was the evil organization,
It was just really crazy. Look,
or Chimp, or
we're
something
talking
like that.
about the
Peter
60s.
not jump all over that?
A lot of these shows and former programs were all produced in times where cocaine was a very high,
The organization Fear, the Federal Egg Answering Room.
Lots of marijuana was going around.
So
Yeah,
I'd like to
lots
go
of-
around the
yeah.
room. So
Yes.
of you, what was actually one of your favorite Bond movies? Starting with Andrew.
I have a few favorites. I mean, honestly, I like all the James Bond franchise. There are some that I like more than others.
Of course.
If I had to pick my opinion, the best Bond film, I would go with Thunderball. I think Thunderball. I think at that point they had pretty much, Doctor No is great. From Russia with Love is it's kind of long and boring.
Yeah.
Goldfinger is good too, but when you get to Thunderball, I think that's when they kind of got everything nice and tight, and they were like, okay,
They found the mesh between his intelligence and his
Mhm.
physicality.
Yeah. And I would say even it's either that's like my number one, Thunderball. My number two is You Only Live Twice, because they really kind of pushed the envelope with You Only Live Twice, and they added more stuff to it.
The special effects and whatnot.
The special effects,
Yep.
the set design, they just really went big and everything else like that.
Yeah, because
and-
if you think about it,
Yeah.
two of the other movies were all beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
so it's like
beaches.
it's the set's already there, guys.
It was kind of like the old school way of making movies. It was just like, we got to get this done quick.
Yeah.
We got to get this done cheap.
Yeah.
Now and when they get to Thunderball and You Only Live Twice, That's when they were starting to really push.
They
the
had the
spectacle.
money. Yeah,
they had the money.
to
They
make
had
the actual sets.
And who else would you're gonna make a James Bond film for 2 years? Why aren't you gonna put every single cent that you want to put in that thing to make it look good? So
right, and then problem number one. Let's make the biggest mistake of our lives and let people think that Spectre, question mark, the main dude, is an actual person we can relate to.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake. Keeping the most powerful man in the shadows is perfect.
Mhm.
There was a, I want to say there was a Reddit, but God forgive me, I could not remember where it came from, where I read it, but there was contemplation of the guy who plays M, who's James Bond's boss, is in fact the guy in charge of Spectre.
Really?
And because Spectre has gotten so big that he can't keep his organization quiet anymore. So what he does is he weeds out special agents to figure out which one of these guys is going to work for him as the guy in charge of Spectre, compared to Bond, who every single time thwarts one of his missions.
Yeah.
So for M, as the minister, he's like, well, I'm looking good because my boy did his job. 2, as the guy in charge of Spectre, I could be looking at this and say, I see where the breakdowns are. I can improve this. I can change that. I'll bring up the movies as case in points to understand my points. But that's one Reddit version.
Yeah.
The other Reddit version was what I thought was the best was Sherlock Holmes' Moriarty.
Yeah.
Was the guy in charge, and it was either him or his offspring or something to that effect that just kept that organization going.
What's your favorite Bond film?
Better question. Which one did you first see in the theater? Was it Dr. No?
In the theater?
Or was it Goldfinger? Which one did you first see?
Okay. First off, fuck you. I'm not that goddamn old, you motherfucker.
We're Gen X, bro.
But
Bruh.
yes, Dr. No was the first movie I did actually see of James Bond. It was a movie that my father was able to get on videotape, and we sat down together. And my dad was a very brilliant man. He could have been an educator here in America had Americans actually respected the immigrants that come to this country for what they had in their country. All right, that's neither here nor somewhere else at this point.
We understand, yeah.
But he was a fanatic for Bond. But one of the things is he's actually read the Bond books. I can't.
Oh, no, it's so dry.
It is so dry. Thank you. And a lot.
I tried to read Casino Royale. It was. I couldn't get through page 2.
It's boring.
Yeah,
it's boring as shit. It's very detailed of what Bond is. Now, you brought up the first 3 movies, how they kind of had to work together till they got to the 4th movie where they mesh. The second movie, interesting thing about that is there was a lot more of his intellect was being used in that movie. Very few explosions.
Yeah.
Very few running around. Very few shootouts. All kind of cat and mouse kind of things. Using his intellect to figure out where he was going. That's where they realized, okay, he's smart, but we don't have to kind of push the whole smartness continuously.
Right.
Let's start making him a little bit more of a buff guy and start making him more actionable.
Man of action.
Exactly. But still an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And that's why Thunderball, if you look at it, he's very smart, but he's also very athletic.
Yeah.
It's not unusual to have a thunderball in your pants.
I'm getting the finger over here from Jamie saying that I need to wrap it up.
I'd be doing that, the Dave Chappelle thing if I had the button. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, do you remember on Dave Chappelle?
All I remember is,
what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap!
No, there's the wrap it up button. You know how when they go on to the Academy Awards and they would just be like,
play him off.
Yeah, they'd be like, I hear the music. Am I supposed to be finishing my speech? So what Dave Chappelle made is the wrap it up box.
Okay.
Right.
So like there's like this woman complain, a guy complaining about something, and woman just hits the music. She's like, wrap it up, come on.
All right, Jamie, wrap it up.
Play
What's
the
your favorite
music.
Bond film? Tell us.
I'm a little bit more recent though, because I think
that's good.
I think because it falls in with like the video game, but GoldenEye.
I like that one. I
Okay,
did too.
I like GoldenEye. You got Sean Bean.
Yeah. You got that great theme from Tina Turner.
Yes.
Yep.
And again, that video game just pretty much took up so many hours
Oh
of
my
our
God,
life.
didn't it?
It
And
was.
did you have the
so
problem?
good.
Did you have the problem with the controller where the moment you let go, all of a sudden you're aiming at your feet?
Yeah, we just drift off.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what the hell? Just hold
You
it.
had to be constant on it.
That's what killed me on it.
And Pierce
Can't
Brosnan
stand
was a
that.
good Bond.
But
I
Pierce
liked-
Brosnan was okay.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yes. So he had a lot of like that swagger
Yeah.
about his.
It was kind of a
lines and
Roger
stuff.
Moore, but
I didn't like Roger Moore.
Really?
As a Bond.
Now, here's the
I
thing.
Don't
Here's
like
the-
Roger Moore.
I will bet you, had you enjoyed Roger Moore during the time they wanted to put Roger Moore in there, you would have appreciated him. Like when they were wanting to put
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton, yes, but no, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan was stuck with Remington Steel.
Yeah.
But when he was doing Remington Steel, he would have been perfect for Bond.
Yeah.
Well,
And now
originally,
they-
He wasn't so full of himself. He wasn't so
Yeah.
And like I got to admit though that Daniel Craig was pretty good.
yeah.
And they upped the ante with a lot of the action in comparison as I'm looking through the list and being like, I remember watching all of these and like many of them just being like, that was a little slow. Oh, they had a cool part right here. But the rest of it was just a lot of talky.
No, fair
So-
enough.
It's true. It's true.
You feel the same way about From Russia with Love.
Yeah, you did say it. It was just okay. When are we getting on to some punching?
It's a lot of train.
I feel that way about On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think George Lazenby was a great Bond, but my God, they wrote that story so friggin' long,
Yeah.
unnecessarily
I agree
long.
with
Well,
that.
they added the love story in there.
Which
I
is
think-
actually
which-
interesting.
You know, I'll tell you the truth. The one thing I like about that is that it did have a love story element that was kind of nice to see the
Wasn't it when
behind
he
the
got
scenes
married?
of Bond.
Didn't
Yes.
he get married in that
Yes,
one?
he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And
And,
there was-
he became a widow in that movie, too.
And if you haven't seen it by now, you're not gonna see it.
Exactly.
But I kind of like where they did some of the background of that. Telly Savalas is Blofeld, which you know.
Who loves
again,
you, Blofeld?
It kills it. It kills it so much. I don't want to know who Blofeld is.
I know.
I like the fact that
I like the
Blofeld is
mystery.
unknown.
And
My name is Blow Me, baby.
but you know that's the reason why I like Thunderball and I like You Only Live Twice, because like when it gets to Blofeld, he's still mystery in the background. You don't know who it is until the very end, and then it's like Donald Pleasance. He does a pretty good job.
Does a good job. I will admit that. And all the actors who've played Blofeld, I will not argue that they did a good job. They had to.
Yeah.
You're playing a very destructive, sadistic, murderous, not so nice a guy.
No.
I mean,
Right.
this guy seriously has got mommy issues. I have to believe that. But you got to really work hard to make this character good. And
Exactly.
and they all did. I will say that. Just unfortunately, you shouldn't have had to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time for episode 2 of The Camaro Man.
That's it. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm getting out of here.
Wayne, get away from the window.
No, don't.
Why not?
Because we're on the first floor.
And the windows are sealed.
Damn it. You jerks trapped me again.
In the past, there have been great lawmen. Some have worn a shiny badge and ride in the town atop a mighty steed. I too wear a badge. And while I don't ride a traditional steed, mine does have 650 horsepower. When you have no one else to turn to, you can call Camaro Man.
This week on
The Camaro Man.
Thanks. Chief Iguana, just the guy I wanted to see.
Police Commissioner Brandt, what do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
I brought a personal friend of mine.
Iguana, how you doing?
District Attorney Blanco. How expected.
The commissioner here tells me one of your boys has been harassing my brother.
He's not one of my boys. He works on his own.
Oh, right. That lone wolf.
Oh, that loose cannon.
Did somebody mention Cannon again?
Wrong cannon, William Conrad.
Fine, I'm just gonna go lie on the sofa over there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear you got... Oh,
the love of God, don't say his name.
The Camaro Man on the case.
He doesn't drive a Camaro.
But I've seen him driving a silver Camaro around the city.
I'm pretty sure that's what he drives.
If it was built in 1966, then you could call it a Camaro. But it's some bow-tie piece of crap built in 2016.
What's the difference?
There's a big freaking difference.
Is there a problem, gentlemen?
Oh, sweet Jesus, not you.
Well, well. If it isn't who I think it is.
You thought right, gentlemen. It's
Fuck me running.
the Camaro Man.
I hate you so much.
I hear you've been sticking your nose where you shouldn't be, Camaro Man.
Don't call him that. It just encourages him.
Listen up, Camaro. Do I really have to say this whole thing? Really? Okay. Listen to me, Camaro Man. My brother is a respectable businessman.
I didn't realize drug trafficking and child pornography was a respectable business.
He only does drug trafficking. I don't know where the hell he pulled the other out of, you ass.
A word of advice. Stay away from Blanco's business if you know it's good for you.
Yeah!
You should know by now, I only like what's bad for me.
What does that even mean?
If I were to take the advice of corrupt cops and a shady DA, then I wouldn't be the Camaro Man.
Wait, just get my stapler right now.
You're out of line, Camaro Man. If I see you anywhere near Blanco,
But I'm right here.
I meant your brother.
Oh, right.
If I see you anywhere near Blanco's brother, I'm throwing the book at you, Camaro Man.
You're all a bunch of assholes. You really are.
Throwing a book at me? Don't you know that doesn't scare me? Because I'm illiterate. Words don't scare me because I don't understand them.
Obviously.
You can't scare me with threats, Brant, and you can't threaten me with scared tactics. I hate that show, and I hate dishonesty more than I hate that show. You can threaten me with violence, you can threaten to take my badge away, but I don't scare easily. That's why I'm
Just stop talking.
the Camaro Man.
Come on. I want to punch you in the balls right now.
Tune in next week for another episode of...
The Camaro Man.
I was just about to say that. Ass. Right after an all-new episode of Dick Prostate, Gynecologist PI.
Who's definitely not the Camaro Man.
Yeah, I think they realize that.
Hey, Brett. What is your favorite Bond movie?
Mine was actually You Only Live Twice. I liked that one because it was like, that was actually the first Bond interracial kiss. Twice in the movie.
Ooh.
You had you beginning with the Chinese actress who's having the intimate moment with Bond,
Yep.
and then later with Kissy Suzuki. That was her name, right?
But wait, was that the one with Grace Jones?
No,
That's a View to a Kill.
View to a Kill.
Oh, okay.
Does Roger Moore actually kiss her in that one, or?
Well,
Yes.
he sleeps with her.
He sleeps
does
with her,
with-
so
okay.
maybe they didn't
Okay.
kiss. Who
Well,
knows?
also, you got to think much earlier. Live and Let Die,
Yes.
where he's actually technically having sex with a Jamaican woman who just happens to be really black as the character in the movie.
Yeah.
What year was that one?
70.
That one's a bit cringy to watch nowadays, just because it was like trying to.
Yeah,
It was- it was
they
trying
were
to- they were-
pushing the whole like we
Black-
need to be have a bit
They were
more.
trying to do a blaxploitation film, and it just didn't work.
It was
as
at
well.
the height of the black exploitation era, with movies like Shaft and Black Caesar and all these other movies that were kind of
If you
smashed
take
together.
certain elements out
Yeah.
of Live and Let Die, it is actually a really damn good story. Though.
Yeah, it is.
And I know it's not popular to say, but I actually didn't mind The World Is Not Enough. I actually saw that one in the theaters.
The World Is Not Enough. That's the
Pierce Brosnan.
the Pierce Brosnan
Yep.
one with
Yeah.
Jonathan Price.
Yeah, no,
No,
that's
that's,
Tomorrow Never
I
Dies.
always mix those up.
Well, they're
You're dumb.
yeah.
I'll say that that's the reason why I kind of mentioned that the Pierce Brosnan movies and like some of these movies kind of merged together.
They seemed interchangeable.
Because
Yeah.
the stories aren't changing.
Yeah.
The aspects of getting from point A to point B to point C are exactly the same.
But a lot of what Andrew said earlier about, You Only Live Twice, those were the reasons I enjoyed the film. Is like you had like Q bringing out the mini helicopter for Bond, and
Yeah.
I think that was like
oh,
really,
that was a great.
that was
scene.
actually I think that's really the beginning of like pushing Bond's gadgets,
Yeah.
and all the
Yeah, Q had a much more prominent role,
Right.
From actually not from You Only from Russia with Love. From Russia with Love, Q. It's not even the same Q. If you watch,
It's a different actor.
right? But I don't even think they call him Q. It's almost like from Q Branch.
Yes.
Some gentleman from Q Branch showed
He
up.
had a different name, and I can't remember the name of him right now.
And of course, they did the same thing in, Goldfinger and everything else.
Yeah.
Here, pay attention, 007. I want this equipment returned in pristine order.
Yes.
Which he never does. Which he
course.
never does.
But
I don't want to see a mark of dust on this car, Mr. Bond.
and I'll tell you, Desmond Llewellyn played Q from the very start all the way
from Russia with Love.
from Russian Love all the way up until
The World Is Not
The World's
Enough.
Not Enough.
Which I think the other reason I like The World Is Not Enough is because they actually John Cleese took over as Q in those movies.
and they
yes,
gave
yes.
Q an exit.
Yes.
They gave Q an exit.
Oh, yes, the famous Bond wit or lack thereof.
And you know what? The sad thing about Desmond Llewellyn is that he died
Yes.
soon after the release of the film.
He died in a
Yes.
car crash, and it was just...
He was like he could have done more.
Well, I think he
Or
was
did he
more...
want to?
He was retiring.
No,
he
he
was
was.
retiring.
That was the whole point of
Oh,
introducing
okay.
John Cleese into the story.
Oh, really? There wasn't going to be like a sidekick
Nope.
with him making
Nope.
stuff.
He
Oh,
was,
okay.
I mean, he had done.
He had
read
no
that wrong.
Stanley. He had no Stanley intention whatsoever.
I read that wrong. I thought he was going to like be with him as a sidekick and be like,
Right.
So yes, Bond, I have, yes, Bond, I have this here for you.
it's
Yes,
like,
007, I have this. It's a watch. You know what a watch is.
Yes, I've got a
007, you
toaster.
stupid bastard.
Don't touch that. That's my sandwich. That's my
Yes.
lunch.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He rips away. That's my. It's a submarine. That's my sandwich.
I just.
Oh, I thought it was
my
going
God.
to blow up.
But honestly, like that was always the fun thing to watch in those movies. Like just the people like getting like trapped in like a toll booth or like getting stuck in a couch. Or like they were wearing a coat and somebody with a flamethrower is like,
Oh, the test subjects.
The test subjects.
Yes.
They kind of make fun of that in the 67 Casino Royale. There's a great scene where Peter Sellers is Evelyn Tremble's going through and Q's, they're doing all the different test subjects. And there's the one guy with like the gun in the hat and he's like, ready, aim, fire. And it goes off the wrong way.
So you can't really. I mean, all of these like spy gadget stuffs and all this movies that James Bond, it has its cultural impact where you wouldn't have any of these other awesome movies that have been. So the Austin Powers
Absolutely.
movie, the Melissa McCarthy
Oh, yeah.
movie Spy, which
right.
is absolutely hilarious.
It
if you
is.
haven't seen that yet.
Jason Statham is the arrogant spy.
He's
I fell out of a
fantastic.
plane and
Oh
went,
my God! It's a lake.
Okay, I broke both my arms, and I still was able to wipe my ass.
How's that possible? You can't
know,
do that.
Yeah.
The other thing, I'll take another direction. They actually remember when Vin Diesel did Triple X,
Yes.
and they had that opening scene with the guy in the tux, and he's
I
like
am
running
Groot.
around, and he's getting chased by the punks, and he gets killed at the beginning of the movie
I can
because he
read the
stands
letter
out too
X.
much. But then they get like Vin Diesel's like, I will hold that in here, like puts all this stuff in the car. And they have like the manual for
Why
the
did you
car.
just make Vin Diesel sound like what's his name from Snatch?
with a little bit of Camaro Man.
A little bit of Camaro, because that's what Camaro Man. Camaro Man needs a Triple X movie.
Actually, the other thing I want to kind of bring up, one of the great
I
things
thought
about
that's all the Camaro Man wanted.
I've seen that movie a lot. I like it.
Edit point.
Edit, guy.
Yep.
You. Wipe your eyes out. And yes.
I was just gonna say the other thing that's always been great about Bond is the theme songs, but sometimes it's the theme songs that weren't chosen that are the ones that are the most interesting. Andrew and I got talking about it a few days ago because I remember around the time Tomorrow Never Dies came out, the British band Pulp was supposed to do the theme song for Tomorrow Never Dies, and they ended up going with Sheryl Crow, which honestly,
not a good choice.
it's like one of those things. I don't think it's the worst theme song in Bond history. I think that still goes to Madonna for Die Another Day. But it was just it was boring. It was just a
Yes.
very boring theme
And
song.
those themes that's all part of like the whole cold opening, and which brings you into like the whole number. It's
Since Jamie really likes this theme, there's one theme obviously that's that was sung by a very important artist of American songs.
Hold on.
Okay, so
Here it is.
What this movie would have been for?
Just go ahead and guess.
Okay.
There's a rumble in the sky and all the world can hear it call. Yeehaw!
And this is for a Bond film?
Yep.
Oh,
It's Johnny Cash doing Thunderball. This was one of the rejected themes.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Well, then here's now playing devil's advocate. If you think about it, Shirley Bassey, Tom Jones. I forgot the guy who actually did the theme for James Bond. But all those guys had that certain style that they were actually trying to go with. Yes, very interesting intro. Really cool because of the Western aspect.
I don't feel
that
like
would have actually might have worked more for Diamonds Are Forever when he's actually working in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that probably would have worked better.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, I would have not have.
Actually,
taken
it's
that
funny you
Thunderball.
mentioned Shirley Bassey because originally the theme for Goldfinger was going to be sung by a singer by the name of Anthony Newley, who most people wouldn't know who he is nowadays, but he was one of the guys who actually was a great influence on David Bowie.
Okay.
Especially with the way David Bowie would sing early on in his career. He took a lot from Anthony Newley, and he sang
the flamboyantness of it, or just the style, the way he
more the inflections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's another theme.
What do I get a year this came out in?
1970s.
Okay.
Late 70s.
Thinking of the man with the golden gun.
Spy Who Loved Me? You sure it's not the Spy Who Loved Me? It seems like a Spy Who Loved Me.
Live and Let Die? No.
Diamonds Are Forever?
I wouldn't think it would be like Moonraker.
Here it comes.
For Your Eyes Only.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Actually, bring up tomorrow.
Wait a minute. For Your Eyes Only was 81. Damn you.
Oh,
said
I was
let's-
wrong. I'm
you
sorry.
said 70s, yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I could not remember.
The Roger
it.
Moore movies kind of blend together.
Again, yeah.
Bring up Tomorrow Never Lies by Pulp. That one I
Tomorrow
feel like
Never Lies?
would have been if you hear it, it was so much better than what the
What
show.
Sheryl Crow put out.
Yeah, because it sounds like a classic Bond theme. And this guy Jarvis Cocker, the lead singer, was a huge Bond fan, and so he was really excited to do a Bond. And originally the title was going to be Tomorrow Never Lies. It was going to be the.
Oh, that sounds.
Which does make
that
more
sounds
sense.
a little bit better. I kind of
being
like
that
that.
he is a mogul of a media company.
Like most Bond themes, it starts very slow.
Yeah, right.
I like the direction it's going.
Sounds very David.
Very
Bowie.
David Bowie.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a very
That's what I
David
was
Bowie
gonna say.
voice.
Oh, come on, man. That's a pure imitation of David Bowie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Plus, that's also got that very 60s
Yes.
esque style to it. So it's like, yeah, I could totally see why they would have gone with this.
Yeah.
I can already hear, or not hear, visualize the credits
Yeah.
with the girls slowly
Yep,
falling
the
down.
silhouette girl, and
Coming
then
down.
a gun coming out of here, and then yeah.
Well, this type of music, but yeah, I could totally get
Yeah.
this one.
This would have been so much better than what we got with the Sheryl Crow.
The Sheryl Crow one, yeah. I agree. That would be a little. That's
You know who's another person who actually
Who?
ended up trying to do a Bond song, but ended up not getting picked up? Alice Cooper.
what?
Alice Cooper.
Really?
Did you actually write it?
Is it recorded?
Yes.
At least they're gonna find it.
We're all waiting on Andrew.
to stop this music already.
I think it sounds cool.
I don't think you know how to use the play button.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
I'm using
Just
the
as much
search
as you know how to read.
Exactly. It's the idiot show.
All right, shh. Here we go.
Okay, shh.
I think this was going to be the man with the golden gun.
Yep.
Oh my God.
All right, I can hear the disco in the song, which was the killer of a lot of hair metal bands of the late 70s. They always they wanted to influence
That was glam
themselves.
rock. Don't say hair metal. That was
That's
totally
glam
different.
rock.
Yeah,
Different.
but still.
Very, Alice Cooper, I like it.
Yeah. I think Lulu ended up doing the theme for Man with the Golden Gun.
Yeah, it's kind of got a stage sound to it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
But there's just been some I've been, I kind of, a few days ago, I went down the rabbit hole of YouTube, just checking out the
That
different
happens.
Bond themes. And it's like, you listen to these, it's like, these are really, they're really good songs.
I mean, seriously, it's sad that these songs got just dropped.
Overlooked. Yeah.
Actually, Dionne Warwick was originally supposed to do the, again, Thunderball. I think she was originally supposed to do the theme, Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang
here's
Bang.
one from Ace of Base. They did a
that's
version
right.
for GoldenEye.
What?
That's
no.
right. Yes,
Wait,
they
who,
did.
wait. Who did originally the GoldenEye song?
That was Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. Okay.
Tina Turner did the original.
And I thought that was one of the best things was her.
Hey, was that a right window commercial?
Yep. Ace of Base, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the ones that saw the sign.
Not to be confused with ABBA.
Didn't they have a baby?
Ace of Baby?
All right, so far I like the intro.
It's very early mid 90s.
Yeah.
It fits.
You'll have that choir pad
Yeah.
sound.
It fits that. Lots of keyboard action
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
And you can hear like the
Yeah, it's like a
90s club thing.
click track.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Only as a friend?
This doesn't sound like a Bond
That
film
doesn't
thing.
sound like
Yeah.
a Bond thing at
No, it
all.
doesn't.
I'd like to know you more than a friend.
Let's go back in the.
I'd like to know you in your face. Actually, find
Well-
the Anthony Newley Goldfinger. That was
Anthony Newley.
he was the inspiration, David Bowie's inspiration. Apparently, he got really pissed off because Bowie kind of took a lot of his panache, especially earlier on in Bowie's career.
Well, same as Vampira and Elvira.
That's right.
Elvira.
Yeah.
Basically, you cannot look at Elvira and look at Vampira and say, you kind of
They're the same character.
Same
Yeah.
character. You kind
And
of
I love them both.
I love them both.
Yes,
And
you do love them
honestly-
both,
Well, there's
but it
two big
doesn't change
reasons
the
to
fact
like,
that the person who
Elvira.
came up with the idea got screwed.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find it yet?
I haven't been able to find it.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Newley Goldfinger.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, this is good. This is very
Pink Panther-ish.
Yeah.
I like it.
what is it?
Yeah.
You can hear the Bowie.
He's the man with the Midas touch.
Oh, okay. So they just replaced the singer.
Yep.
Yep.
A spider's touch.
Oh man.
Such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin.
Now, if they kept his voice with the same big band that's behind
Right, the Shirley Bassey. Well, here's also.
Oh my
Very
God, that
smoky
trumpet.
jazz.
But his lines can't disguise what you
But here's the thing. At this point, we can all agree that whoever did a Bond theme was pretty much starting to be propelled at that point.
Yeah.
So you could look at it as being, okay, we got this guy Andrew Newley, and we got this woman Shirley Bassey.
Yeah.
Who do we think is going to work better for this?
It's
Well,
true.
Shirley at
Well,
this point.
What's your favorite? Just around the room, favorite Bond theme?
I have two. I love Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger. Just her, just that.
That
peel the
Eartha
paint off the
Kitt
wall, sort
style
of. Yeah.
voice,
Yeah.
Yep.
Just screechy. I especially with that brass
Yes.
behind it, like
Yeah.
da da. Bah,
Yeah.
bah, and it just then she
Yeah.
goes right into it.
Yeah, that's probably.
And then she has that
probably
ending
my
to it,
favorite, too.
only go. he loves, just belts out gold at the end. The other one, Paul McCartney's "Live and Let Die," I thought I still love that theme just because
that was never intended to be a Bond theme.
Oh, I know. But still, it's just like, when he just says "live and let die," and all of a sudden you hear the explosion and you see the skull on the screen with the fire around.
Oh yeah,
it.
no, it's
What about you? What's your Andy?
I like Nancy Sinatra's "You Only Live
Oh,
Twice."
me too. That's another one.
That's another good one.
Actually, I believe Nancy Sinatra was what started the pop stars doing the actual themes.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because again, Shirley Bassey and Tom Jones were kind of like stable actors or performers. They worked for an organization.
What's new, Octopussy? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah, you can't exactly, have a song on the radio saying, "We're gonna have a song." What's the name of that song? Octopussy. I don't think that's gonna work. All Time High. Let's go with that one. Olivia Newton-John or whatever it was.
No,
who was it that sang that song?
You should have that, but no, that's not Olivia Newton-John.
It isn't? Oh, okay.
No, for me, it's unfortunate. Not unfortunately, I love it to death. Is Carly Simon?
It's a good song.
I Love Me. It's got such an amazing hook to it,
and it's one of those things. It's like it's not very. I can't say it's a dull song, but it's not like over the top, but it still fits the film.
Yeah, and it's also one of those songs you can listen to without having to watch the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Just have them playing on the radio. It's like every time I hear the song, I got to hear the song. I got to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one theme, which is sad because it's in my opinion, one of the most boringest Bond movies made was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
Good special effects, but they were not going with storyline as being relevant.
Right.
They were really trying to now go more of the, hey, let's do the explosions and see what this gives us.
Yeah. Well,
and it started to
kind of like the MCU.
Well, the other thing too about Spy Who Loved Me is Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker.
Yeah. Marvel. Yeah.
Like Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker are essentially the same freaking movie.
Same freaking movie. Yep.
You have a bad guy who's a rich whatever. He owns this
Asshole.
big huge thing. He basically wants to kill off humanity so he can create his own little race of people or whatever.
Again, asshole.
You have a bad guy who has really crazy teeth, Jaws.
Elon Musk.
Howard Keel. I mean, honestly, Howard Keel is probably one of the Richard Keel. I'm sorry. Richard Keel is one of my favorite Bond bad guys because he has such a unique flavor to it.
But he also, you can also say that Richard Keel brought the comedic aspect to the bad guy. For instance, the fact that he took so many beatings, he just gets up, brushes off the debris, and just leaves.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie.
Quick round.
And what your favorite Bond themes?
I already said it.
You did?
Goldfinger.
Oh, that's
So I
right.
already agreed. I could also be.
That's a song Tom Joe just said. Like, I'm just going to say what he said. What he is.
Actually, there's a song that was on Casino Royale '67 that should have been a song on the in the Bond movies was Dusty Springfield's "The Look of Love." She should have done a Bond theme. That was a great song.
All right, I'm gonna. I want you guys to hit. I'm gonna hit you with a question, and you're gonna give me answer right away.
All right. Can you be the buzzer?
No, but you're just gonna give me an answer right away. So, Andy, your favorite Bond girl?
Tanya Roberts.
Brett, favorite Bond girl?
Kissy Suzuki.
Wayne, favorite Bond girl?
That's hard. That really is because
that's what she said.
Just there was a lot of really good girls.
I asked quick.
I know. I can't give you one. I can't.
Come on.
I can't. All
right.
I can't. Sorry. I can't. There's too many to count.
There are a lot.
There are a lot of really.
That's why
good
there's
ones.
2 pages of this stuff right here.
That's why we have the chart
But
on the wall that has the strings going to each
I agree
one.
with Andy. Tanya Roberts.
Yeah.
Totally sold it for me. I love Tanya Roberts.
But here's the problem with Tanya Roberts.
What?
She was put there for the purpose.
Why do
of
you
her
have a
body.
problem with Tanya Roberts?
Because she was put there for the purpose of her body. She hardly has any decent lines to say
Well,
in
so
the
is
entire
Denise
movie.
Richards. So
Denise Richards. Oh my God. I could have
Oh,
gone with
Denise
her.
Richards.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Christmas.
Her
Christmas.
I've always wanted to have, go around the Christmas for the holidays.
Should have Christmas
For the holidays.
throughout the year.
Christmas Jones. Was that her name?
Honestly, that
Something like that.
That was her name.
Christmas Thompson. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, for crying.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
I mean, a lot of the Bond girls, yeah, they get kind of like, they kind of get replaceable and everything else like that. And obviously, when we talk about the Bond girls, there's 3 different types of Bond girls. They're ones that he sleeps with. They're the ones that he that try to kill him,
and he already knows they're trying to kill him.
and they're already and he sleeps with them
What's his name?
anyway.
Xena?
Actually, no, there are 4 categories.
Oh, 4 categories.
Yes, there's sexual partners.
Okay.
All of James's sexual James Bond has a list. Let me tell you, my black book goes this thick.
Damn, that's one hell of a fat list.
Sexual partners. Then the next category is
Bond needs some penicillin.
the next category is the main sidekick. So that was always the woman that would help him kick ass.
Yep.
Right. Then there would be the femme fatale. So that'd be the one on the bad side who was always trying to kill Bond.
And then there was Terry Hatcher, who they killed off early in the movie because nobody could stand
And then
her.
there was Terry Hatcher. She had her own. Because then
that
there's
was the worst.
and then
Yeah.
there's the last category called the sacrificial lamb.
Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
We don't want you in this movie anymore. We're going to kill you off because you're a jerk.
God damn, we had to sign her on a contract.
Who do you have left for Bond girls?
Now-
I don't know. She's in that show with that guy about Superman. Let's put her in. What the hell? Why not?
So what
Put a few more people in the seats. I don't care.
What I've been so like, we can talk about the whole what everybody has been thinking about James Bond with the future of James Bond. Now that this
is
new
true.
film's coming out, is a few years ago was people talking about Idris Elba being the next James Bond,
Right.
which back then when they were talking about it would have been a great idea.
Yeah, I completely
Unfortunately, now he's gained a little bit of years on him, and you can definitely see in Suicide Squad when he was doing like some running or something like that, you could be like, it's looking like it's taking him a little bit more to move. So a few years back, maybe Idris Elba would have been cool.
Henry Cavill's another name that's
Henry
been
Cavill was another one that was going around.
Yep.
But what has been really thrown around, and the idea that I kind of like, is the what was her name? It's in the new one, the new James Bond movie. There's an actress that shows up for about 10 minutes, and she's with James, and she kicks ass. And they're actually thinking that she might have a continuing character.
There's actually something that was brought up in the old, again, Casino Royale, where they had
Paloma.
The whole plot was, David Niven's Bond was retired, and they had somebody who was had taken over both the name and the 007 moniker.
Well, they tried to create a spin-off character with Die Another Day with Halle Berry when she played
Jinx.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were trying. They had
that was very bad character development, though.
They
That's
had-
the problem.
Well, here's the thing. That's
Halle
what-
Berry's character was just two-dimensional. When
Well,
she is
Felix
obviously,
Leiter.
when she
Felix
is obviously
Leiter's
three-dimensional.
character.
Well, getting to my idea, I thought maybe they would start doing it more real world, where they, like they sort of did with the original Casino Royale, where the next Bond film, instead of just saying this is the same guy who we're supposed to believe this is the same guy, the same agent all this time, whereas with the Daniel Craig movies, it was a break off from the it was part of the series, but it was a break off from the series where they
In a way, yeah.
Well,
so
yes,
I'm
'cause
thinking
you can see the beginning
Yes.
of him being actually recruited.
So
for
I'm
MI6.
thinking
when they did Casino Royale. I think one of the big things is that they were kind of inspired by the Batman Begins.
Yes,
Christopher
yeah.
Nolan.
Sure, the restarts.
Right.
So that's why I'm
restarts.
thinking that it might end up being a more real world change, change with the Bond, where it's going to be, if it is a continuation, it'll be sort of maybe be like the '67 Casino Royale, where they have somebody taking up the name and number of James Bond because the world needs
Do you think
James
they're just
Bond
going to
007.
Do you think they're just going to take the name, or are they just going to be able to take the number? So
They could
it
do
could
either,
actually
they
be.
could end up doing it either way.
So it could actually be like.
The only
what's
time-
your name?
Yeah.
Bond. Jasmine Bond.
Well, I think the only time they
007.
ever, I think
Boom,
they ever,
that's killer.
I think in
I
the
like
classic
that.
series, the only time they ever actually kind of made a nod to it was on Her Majesty's Secret Service, when at the beginning of the movie, George Lazenby says,
This
"Funny,
never happened to the other guy.
that's right."
Yeah.
See, so it is probably like within like the universe of James Bond that
So
it is.
I personally
It's
feel like
really hard to say, because the other thing too is, and this is just another attitude I probably add in that. James Bond is sort of a product of the time that it was created.
Exactly
true.
it.
It's
When
true.
you look at the list of of all these movies, and you
Yeah.
can think like that is definitely a product of its time.
it's very much the
and
Cold War.
You can see through the evolution of how James has actually interacted with certain female characters. How way back here in the 60s, there was a little bit more roughhousing going on.
Oh, God, yeah.
And Ursula Andress.
The women didn't really have that much of.
But let's not
of a
forget
character.
Ursula. Let's not forget Ursula Andress coming out of the sea in Doctor Now.
Yeah.
In that bathing suit.
Never forget that.
They actually tried to recreate that
Oh.
in Dying of the Day.
Yeah,
But
that's
then,
right.
but then the great thing is that you can see with the evolution of times is that within all of these movies that the female character does get a little bit more.
Right.
Then you get to
More action.
A little bit
then you
more
get to
presence.
like Michelle Yeoh, and you got people kicking ass.
Oh, God, yeah.
So from this point on, I'm kind of hoping, I really do, that they have that actress Anna Diamoris.
You're talking about the new one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anna Diamoris, the girl who played Palermo in the new movie.
Okay.
I'm hoping
She's the
because
new 007?
not only is she strikingly beautiful, but I've watched her in so many other movies, and she is a fantastic
It's funny you
actress.
mention that, Jamie.
So
It's funny you mention that because originally when they were, before the movies and they were developing it, so I think some of the producers wanted to change it to Jane Bond and have it actually be
There.
a female
there you go.
secret agent.
So maybe Palermo could take over with the name of Jane Bond, 007.
You know, I mean, it's just like I say, like one of the big things I say is it's like every franchise has like a shelf life, you know?
Yes.
And
Jurassic
if you,
Park.
Yeah. If you're gonna change something, you gotta be true to the roots, but also be true to what the audience is gonna want in the future.
On behalf of Jamie, Andrew, and Wayne, thank you for listening to the Mental Suppository. Until next week, this is Brett Herholtz saying,
Thunderbell!
Well,